Hello mga mamshies! Welcome back to my channel. As always, you guys know the drill. Follow me on my other social media pages, stay in touch, comment down below, and of course, we'll move on for today's tutorial. So this is actually a part 2 of our Valentine's Day special, and I actually posted it in advance para naman you guys can make Valentine gifts for your loved ones as early as now. And today we're going to be making this cute little rosebud, which actually opens up to reveal a hidden message. So it's a cutie little thing that you can give to your loved ones, and of course something that you can tell to. So to begin this project, you have to make this heart, which I actually showed on my other video. You also need your fabric tech glue if you have one. Prepare some spare felt cloths if you have it also. You also need to prepare, of course, some sticks. I actually used chopsticks for this one, and of course our stitch marker and scissors, which we will of course use as always. And lastly, don't forget to prepare your darning needle or your tapestry needle, which we will use later on to weave in some of the details. Okay, so to begin the project, you have to start with 3 hearts. Again, the tutorial for this is on my Facebook page and on this channel as well, so I'll link it here. So it's up to you on what kind of message you want to put inside of the hearts, but for this project I chose to place I love you. So what I did is I prepared my tapestry needle and placed some thread on it. I also made a miniature heart, which I did on a different color than the petals that I am going to use, so that it will stand out. So what I did was I just made sure that I attached my little heart to the bigger heart, and I want to apologize because I'm not the best sewer. I suck at this, I know, but bear with me. You guys have the option to skip this part or do whatever you want, place the picture here or whatnot. But again, my message is I heart you, so this is what I chose. You can also find the tutorial for this miniature heart on the video that I am linking here, so it's easier for you to make hearts in different sizes. Okay, so once you have attached the heart firmly on the bigger heart, we will move on to the next. What I do at this point is that the spare yarn that I have on attaching the center heart is weave through to the side of the heart, and I use that to attach the other heart, the left side or the right side of the heart, to the center heart. So you can do this as well, so you don't really have to attach and reattach your thread. So when you're attaching the center heart, make sure that you have a long enough strand of yarn so that you can just go back and forth between the center heart and the 2 side hearts. And make sure that you do this firmly. You don't have to attach all of the sides, just a couple of stitches. 3 will do, and that should be enough. Don't forget to weave in the ends when you're done with it, so you will have a very clean finish. Once you're done attaching the sides, your work should look like this. So these are 3 hearts stitched together, and at the back, they're just ordinary hearts as well. So what we will do now is we will get our felt cloth, and here I cut it into specific letters, which is an I and a U, and I attached them using fabric glue. If you're a good sewer and you know how to sew letters well, then I suggest that you do that. But for people who are not so good at it and can or need to do shortcuts, then this is the best method for you. Again, put whatever message you want to put inside. It's all up to you. This is the simplest one that I can think of, so this is what I did. And to make a rosebud, you simply have to just roll the hearts together as one and make it as firm as you can. And as you finish through, it already looks like a rosebud. Ta-da! So the only thing missing is the stem, and I will show you how to do that in a bit. To make the stem, first prepare the stick that you're using because the length of our stem will depend on the stick, and your 3.5mm hook should be sufficient for this. I actually also used some of my spare yarn, which is an Indophil. I double pulled it, so it's a total of 8 plies for this one. Start off by making a magic ring as always, and in the magic ring just put in 6 single crochets. Okay, so at this point you don't really need to use your stitch marker if you don't want to. Actually, I didn't. I just continued on with the rounds because all you need to do at this point is, after doing the 6 single crochets in the magic ring, just pull the magic ring close and then single crochet on all of the 6 stitches all around until you get to the height of the tube that you need, because we're not increasing or decreasing at this point. As long as you put in stitches, then you're making a tubular shape with your work, and this will be the space where we will be putting in our stick. So it's a bit of a struggle if your stitches are tight, so make sure that you put in proper tensions on this part, but it's that easy. Just make 6 single crochets in magic ring, pull the magic ring close, and work in a spiral, putting 1 single crochet on each of the 6 single crochets all around until you have enough rows to cover your stick. So this is somewhat of a finished product. I didn't count the rows because of course all of us will be using different materials, so just make sure that you cover most of the stick. Make sure that you allow stretchability on it so that you don't have exceedingly long tube. Okay, so once you're done with that part and you have sufficient stitches to cover your stick, then we will proceed on the next part. At this point, you need to get your stitch marker ready, and before you finalize everything, you can test the length of your tube by inserting your stick in it. This way you can deduct or add more stitches if needed. So since I have enough stitches at this point, I take out my stick again and prepare my stitch marker so that I can mark the start of this row, because this is where we will put in our increases. So at this point, you will have to do an increase every step or on every stitch. So it's a half double crochet increase on all of the 6 stitches all around, bringing your stitch count to a total of 12. So as you can see here, I'm doing double crochets around, and once you have reached, of course, your stitch marker, we will do another increase, and that is the reason why we placed in the stitch marker, so we would know where we started at this round. So once you reach your stitch marker, you transfer it to the row that you're working on so that you wouldn't be confused, and then on the stitch after that, you will have to do another increase. As I've said, we're widening our tip at this point because this is where we will place our bud. So do an increase first. This is the round 2 of our bud, and then a single crochet on the next stitch. So this is what we'll do all the way around. We will do a half double crochet increase on the first stitch, and then a half double crochet on the next stitch. So once you're done with this, I'll meet you back on the next row. On the third row of our increase, what we will do as always is take a half double crochet increase on the first stitch, and then on the next two stitches we'll just put a half double crochet on each of the stitches before you do another increase. So this is the pattern that we will repeat all over the row. So do an increase of half double crochet, and then a half double crochet on the next two stitches all the way around. Okay, once you have reached your stitch marker, just transfer the stitch marker again to the next row. And on this row, we don't really need to do another increase again. We just have to do a half double crochet on each of the stitches all the way around. And we will do this for the next 3 rows. So once you've done that, I will meet you once again to show you how to make that little stitch that we make at the top so that it will have a leaf design. Alright, so now we are done with our 3 rows of half double crochet around. Again, you can transfer your stitch at this point, and we will start doing our little leaf design. So at this point, what we will do is we are going to make a pattern which is a treble on the next stitch, the treble, and then do another treble after that. So that's a treble increase for the next stitch. There we go. And then immediately on that, we will chain 3 and single crochet on the same stitch. So that's 2 treble, 3 chains, and then single crochet there. And then on the next 3 stitches, we will do 2 stitches, we'll do a single crochet. Okay, so let me repeat that. On this stitch, we will treble 2 times. After your treble, or 2 trebles, you will chain 3 and attach that with a single crochet on the same stitch as your treble, and then single crochet on the next 2 stitches after that. And you will repeat this pattern all the way around, and this should cover the entire bud. So again, let's repeat that. It's 2 trebles on the same stitch, chain 3, attach that with a single crochet at the bottom, and then 2 single crochets on the next 2 stitches after that, and just repeat the pattern all throughout the row. If you did this correctly, then the ending should be at the start of your first mini leaf, and I will show you that in a bit. As I've said, if you did this correctly, then the ending should be at the beginning of your round. You can finally take off your stitch marker at this point because this is the final stitches. After your last 2 single crochets, just fasten off and make sure that the ends are weaved in neatly within the leaf. So what this project is going to look like is like a tubular shape with a cup at the tip, which is where we will actually put our bud. So just leave in the ends, make sure that everything is well hidden. To assemble your actual rose, just get your stick, insert it at your tube, just like so. And if you did your measurements correctly, or if you choose to, you can actually have a portion of it sticking out. And for more stability, what I do is I take my fabric glue and I glue it there so that it wouldn't move. I glue it on the yarn itself, and you can actually just put your rose at this point. Just make sure that it's snug. You can fluff it up a bit if you choose to, or arrange the petals the way that you want. And see, that's our finished product. For more security, what I actually do is I get my spare fabric, which is a felt paper, and I cut a little circle, and I make sure to attach that circle at the tip of the stick that I have placed in the middle of the tube. This will also not only act as like a sealant so that your work does not show the stick, it also adds on support so that your bud will not topple over as you place it in your leaf cup. So that is our project for today. As I've said, you can place in whatever message you want inside of your rosebud, or you don't really have to place any messages at all. You can just simply roll your hearts together and stitch them firmly in your stick, in your stem, so that it would look like a real rosebud, and you don't really have to detach it from the stem itself. So the possibilities are endless. Use whatever color you would like on the rose and on the stem, and as you can see, once you're done with it, you can give it as a gift, and the special person can open it up and see the secret message hidden inside. You can put whatever you want to put in there. You can make it as a proposal flower. You can put it as a practical joke. It's really up to you. Just roll up your hearts, put it in the stem, and that is your finished product. It's a really great Valentine's gift, and it's a really cheap one too. So I hope you guys like this, and of course I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye bye.